Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 0.79% to 39,447. Ethereum up 1.82% to 2668. From my 30 plus years inside financial markets, I explained the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for being a part of our globally extended family. I very much appreciate you being here. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. There's always hope, and the sun will come out again. The focus of our community is in crypto technical analysis, and crypto technical analysts are professionals who scientifically track investor attention. The first thing to understand is that all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. It's very important to understand the technical nature of any specific chart, any particular crypto that you're actually investing in. If not, it's very easy to sell at the wrong time and buy at the wrong time. The next thing crypto technical analysts do is they look for outside trends. They check world events, collect probabilities, check the stock market, because they know the crypto is a really tiny market compared to other substitutable investment classes. After we've marked up the charts that we're interested in, had a look at the outside world, we look internally inside the crypto universe, and we understand that opportunities reset daily. We want to find the market's focus and enhance our pattern recognition. This is all about identifying strong opportunities. Weak opportunities inside crypto become weaker, strong become stronger. As professionals, we have a very specific guideline as to how we act. We act with integrity, decency, and kindness. These things are really important because we deal with money, potentially other people's money as well. We must be objective in what we do. Of course, it's a lot more than that. When we look at positive excellence and at real wealth, we're focusing on the rules of money. Many people have a negative relationship to money, and that actually sabotages their success. Learning real wealth and positive excellence counteracts that. Good people do good things with money. Bad people do bad things with money. It's got nothing to do with money. It has to do with the person's focus, either positive excellence or negative excellence. But people are always going for excellence in either the positive or negative direction. With real wealth, we focus on the positive direction. So what is the positive direction? It's all about maintaining a positive excellence life trend. We all get pullbacks in life, but having integrity, decency, kindness, seeking inner and outer peace makes those pullbacks much more manageable, and it makes the rallies much stronger as well. We also seek strength, boundaries, courage and honor, and purpose and fearlessness. Crypto technical analysts have enormous persistence and commitment. Most importantly, they understand how to make money and how to keep money and how to have a beautiful life in the process. Crypto technical analysts inhabit Zone 3 and Zone 4, where we make money and we keep money, but also we enjoy life. When you look at the patience and rule zone, Zone 3, this is based on probability and rules, and of course knowledge. When people enter the crypto market, they're not quite sure how things work, and therefore it's very easy for people to get into panic or into blame when things don't work out as they anticipated. Unfortunately, this addiction to certainty creates terror and many sleepless nights. Crypto technical analysis is a profession like a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a computer scientist. It requires hard work. But when people enter the crypto market, they think that they don't need to do any work. They can just gamble. They can put all their money, go all in and more on one particular thing, and it will just make their life. That doesn't work, and it never does. If you want to acquire life-changing wealth, it's important to change your level of knowledge. You can see that there are many steps to get up to the trigger section where we buy and sell through specific rules and methodologies. What happens is typically people, when they enter zone 1 and zone 2, they just press the buy button and they go all in and more, typically using leverage. Leverage will basically kill your account in crypto. Crypto is too volatile for leverage. Let's get started and let's check outside trends. People are reporting that crypto has decoupled from the stock market. Crypto is under $2 trillion of market capitalization. The stock market around 120 trillion. The thing to remember is these are just investment classifications, and crypto is incredibly volatile. Crypto is tiny. It's like a little baby in terms of financial market size. We can see the bond market is in excess of $120 trillion. What happens when there are risk-on events in the stock market? The risky assets, such as stocks, flow into the bond market, and we see an increase in bond prices. We see the reverse happen when the bond market actually transfers money into the stock market and to the crypto market. Please be aware of this. It's really important to understand. When things get overheated, gold tends to go up and bond prices tend to go up, especially with geopolitical instability. We can see that the crypto market is very, very early in terms of its adoption. What is actually crypto? What is the crypto market? Many people don't know. The crypto is actually the next evolution of the internet. I was actually an internet service provider. I owned an internet business in 1993, providing dial-up access to corporates and individuals. What I saw was so much government intervention trying to shut down the internet. The postal service didn't want it because nobody would use stamps, and that has actually come to play many years later. But the postal services were run by the government, and so they didn't want that threat to the revenue stream. But with all things, the government is all about creating jobs. So when they actually saw that the internet would create more jobs, it would lead to the programming industries just going parabolic, and the creation of new innovations and new forms of work. The government got behind it. But it's important to understand the government was initially very, very anti the internet, just like it's anti the crypto market right now. This has been reflected through history. You might remember back to horse and buggies when they were the major form of transportation, and this thing called the automobile came in. There was so much pressure to ban the car, and that didn't work either. The key is, in terms of adoption, crypto is just starting its real adoption cycle. We're really, really early, and crypto will change the world because it is the next evolution of the internet to the internet of value, the internet of money. So we expect this 2 trillion to grow incredibly, substantially over time. Masterclass students, you will get this live chart in TM6. What we actually see here, I'll just summarize these 8 charts for you and how it bears into what's happening with Bitcoin. We can see the fear, which is the VIX level. The VIX is spiking and it's coming up consistently. This shows that the markets are very unstable at the moment. When we get an increase in fear, it means we get negative price momentum, and that's what we've seen in the Nasdaq 100. All the major indices are under pressure at the moment. I mentioned before about how bondholders actually take their money out of the stock market when things become shaky, and that increases the demand for bonds, which increases their price and decreases the yield. We see the economic concern related to bond prices starting to go up the wall. We've seen a large increase in fear. The indices sell off. A large increase in economic concern. And look at gold. Gold has absolutely gone parabolic. Gold measures geopolitical risk. and we can see the flight into safety of the US dollar. The US dollar is also going parabolic. But don't forget, the US dollar is not just the demand for dollars, it's the relative strength or weakness of the trading pairs, for example, the euro. Because of what's happening inside Russia and with Russia and Ukraine, we're seeing the euro sell off. This is pushing the USD higher as well. Inflation is also a very key thing that we need to look at. The 5-year break-even inflation rate has gone exponential, and the price of oil has gone exponential as well. There are headwinds in the main markets. And we know that because crypto is so tiny, it will get buffeted around by these winds. The major driver of economic instability and geopolitical risk right now is Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Vladimir Putin's war, and the Polish Prime Minister said Ukraine is now defending the whole of Europe, not just its independence. And we can see that basically 1.45 million refugees, people have fled the Ukraine. Despite Russia's massive army, the second largest army in the world, Russia has just not penetrated Ukraine. It's being pushed back by the Ukrainian people. We can see they're making a degree of progress. The Russians are making a degree of progress into the Ukraine, but it's anything like Vladimir Putin thought. You may have heard particular news stories coming out about the nuclear power plant being fired on. This is the largest nuclear power plant in the entirety of Europe. Just remember what happened with Chernobyl. You can see that a lot of evacuations are occurring around the neighboring districts of that nuclear power plant. Russia is experiencing increasingly difficult and restrictive sanctions. Visa and MasterCard an hour ago suspended Russian operations. Israel's Prime Minister has visited Russia to try to talk Putin out of the war. Russia is imposing anti-hoarding price control measures on its people. Germany, to cut its dependence on Russian gas, goes ahead with the first liquid natural gas terminal. Russia's stock market has remained closed, and it will remain closed up to Tuesday next week. PayPal has suspended operations in Russia, and Zara is to close its Russian stores. Samsung has joined Apple, and Samsung suspends its shipments to Russia. The FTSE and the Russell removes Russian bonds from the indexes. The S&P and the Dow Jones indices are to drop Russian stocks from the standard equity indexes. You can see that there are a lot of measures being taken against Russia right now. We can see that there's a lot of global instability currently being registered by the bond market, the gold market, the DXY. These things are really important to understand because it does impact crypto. Some people say that crypto is decoupled. Don't believe them. It hasn't. In the masterclass, we do really deep dives on just about everything, and we can see here the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is 1 month at a time. Each candle is 1 month. This dates back to the 1st of April 2019. You can see this gold line. This gold line is Bitcoin. Notice what is happening. Bitcoin has an association with the stock market. This is really important to understand because it's all about investment substitutability. Bitcoin is one investment asset class. The stock market is a different one. I do want to let you know that the major indices in the US markets have a lot of support, especially the Dow Jones at 31,688. And we can see that things are starting to turn around a little bit. We're under resistance. Masterclass students using the EC method, you can see that quite easily. And what we actually understand, because we mark up these charts extensively, there are lower levels of support. Even if price came all the way down in the Dow Jones to 25,646, it would still maintain its bullish uptrend. The bull market is not over. Don't let retail thinkers, zone 1, zone 2 thinkers, actually fool you into thinking that we're in a bear market. We are simply not in a bear market. We've had multiple black swans, and that's what we're reacting to. This was a black swan that we experienced in March of 2020 when the whole entire world shut down. These black swans do not derail the current market structure. They simply elongate it, they postpone it. And if this was taken out, we would see the market coming up. That's what black swans do. If we didn't have all the global crises, for example, Evergrande and the Russian crisis at the moment, the Dow Jones would have got above this level of resistance and partied on hard. That's why we have Rule 225. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, and particularly we talk about the US stock market. Why is that? Because the US market is so huge. It basically consumes 56% of global investment inside stock markets. Many investors, when they look at Bitcoin's price action, they're not quite sure what to make of it. That's why we need to apply the CTKS method. By marking up with the CTKS method, we understand where resistance forms and where support forms. We were actually, a couple of days ago, at this particular price level, and I was saying we could see downward price momentum to this level of support. And we've seen pretty much that, which is fantastic. We always anticipate and prepare ourselves for further downward negative price momentum. And that is something we do to make volatility our best friend. Now, why would we do that? Why would we prepare for the negative side of things? It's what all professional investors and traders do. For example, if you buy something at 10 and it goes down to 5, that's a 50% decrease. But if it goes from 5 back up to 10, that's just a restoration of price. But if you had have bought it at 5 and it went back to 10, that is a 100% increase. That is what crypto technical analysts look for. That's why we say you can always buy lower. And also, sharp angles reverse or reflect. We can see the big pushes down generally have big pushes up, and big pushes up typically have big pushes down. We're not caught off guard. Many people, when they looked at price being around this level after coming up so hard, said, wow, fantastic, Bitcoin is totally repaired, it's party time. We didn't think so. We also knew that Bitcoin was coming up to heavy resistance at 45,092 up to 47,127. What actually happens in cases like this is price hits a lot of different fences, and those fences slow upward price momentum, and we saw those rejections occurring right there. What price typically needs to do is it needs to come back, gain support, and then forge through those lines. And what we can see is basically price has come down. And let's look at the market, because we were talking about Bitcoin not being able to escape the stock market. Let's see if that's true. When we have a look at the NASDAQ, we can see that Bitcoin is approximately following the major directional movement. It's coming down, it's going up, it's coming down, it's going up. Now, what did we see here in the NASDAQ? It sold off before the weekends. A lot of people, when they look at the market, everything is so green, so people get a lot of confidence. Hey, I'm going to go all in and more. I'm going to light switch in. Everything is looking good. But is that actually the fact? What we can see here is Bitcoin has done a small retracement. This isn't like a turnaround. It hasn't broken this downtrend of yet. We could get much more negative price direction when the markets open on Monday. Please just keep this in mind. I'm actually participating in this accumulation phase. These blue lines are where I place buy orders. So I've actually been buying Bitcoin as it's been coming down. Don't forget that when we actually did the video where we put this was a little bit of a green thing, and it looked like it would take out this resistance. The probability was that it was still under resistance and it was likely to get rejected because there's so many sellers up here. And that's actually what it's done. We may see on Monday that we get more negative price momentum. We have to wait and see. Bitcoin can be quite an animal when it comes to volatility. But I believe this particular support line down here, playing in around $38,004, is quite strong. It's been tested quite a number of times. We may get a technical violation pushing the price lower, but we know the 10-5-10 rule. We love to see price coming down below particular levels because that actually creates a really good buy. When you look at bull markets, bear markets, consolidation, crypto technical analysts do not care what the market state is. You can make money in any market state. Please have a look at episode 442. 442 shows you how you can make money even in the Great Depression. And the Great Depression was an ugly time in human history. There were so many opportunities, but you need to be able to buy correctly. I'm not talking about making money by shorting. We don't use any form of leverage. If you're shorting, you're automatically borrowing. You're using leverage. I'm saying that you can make money just by simply buying at the right time. Episode 442 actually analyzes the First World War, the Second World War, many wars, and actually shows you how the market structure reacted to war. Very, very important. I did that 9 days ago. When having a look at the shorts are now starting to level out. We may see an increase in shorting activity. As crypto technical analysts, we do not short, but we need to understand the market dynamics and who is shorting as well. When people feel a lot of certainty, they can go short on the market when they feel the market will collapse. Look actually what happened recently. We had an increase in shorting behavior, activity, and then the institutions did a rug pull and liquidated all these shorts. Just take note also that the shorts have been increasingly hesitant to get into shorting Bitcoin and the crypto market. Even though we see global macro markets under severe stress, we're not seeing the shorts come back in at this particular time. We'll keep our eye on it. When the shorts just go crazy inside the market, look at these past areas when shorts have gone crazy. Just keep that in mind as well. The technical structure of Bitcoin looks quite strong. Please bear this in mind also. We could get a long tail rejection, and that's what we're looking for as crypto technical analysts. We want some kind of long tail rejection to slurp up all our waiting buy orders. But we can see the structure is really, really positive. Bitcoin is starting to break out from resistance. Masterclass students use the EC method. Turning to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we can see that there was a lot of fear inside the crypto market just recently after a huge rally up, a huge level of optimism, and it's this big green spike here that a lot of people said, oh, well, you know, the markets, Bitcoin has decoupled from the market. It doesn't decouple, and it won't be decoupling for, I would say, quite a few decades. One thing to consider when it comes to liquidations, the volume of liquidations is amongst the smallest we've seen even for weekend trading. That is absolutely tiny. This is way below average, which means that this particular movement, we don't ascribe much weight to it. We really need to see what happens when the US market opens on Monday. In fact, it's so tiny, it's under $50 million, which is really tiny, and only across 19,408 positions. As we've seen over the past 24 hours, 68% of those liquidations were short liquidations. And if we go down, you can see just how tiny it is. It's literally minuscule. We don't typically get anything like this. This is really, really bizarre. The reason that we look at Bitcoin is because of Rule 45, and crypto technical analysts understand these rules, and many, many more. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity means that in the directional bias of Bitcoin, the alts are moving in that direction. And it's fairly easy to see. When we look at Ethereum, you notice this blue shadow. That is Bitcoin's price action. This is no alt escaping Bitcoin's gravity. And you know Bitcoin and Ethereum combined are absolutely the majority of the crypto market. Binance Coin, we can see following Bitcoin's directional movement in the blue. XRP following it as well. Solana is actually following it as well, as is ADA. ADA and Sol are very much under gravitational duress. We can see AVAX doing quite well, but it's following Bitcoin's gravity. That's why I always say, if you want to know what happened to your beloved alt, why did it go down, why did it go up, please look at Bitcoin first. We can see Luna under a great amount of gravitational stress here, but then things took off as Bitcoin repaired. Luna is one of the strongest out in the market at the moment. Rule 32, find the market's focus. As mentioned before, Luna is very, very strong, and we can see various levels of support or buying opportunities, and you can see some different colored lines. They're the 10-5-10 fund levels. I just pop them in here for you to help out. When people just join the crypto market, or in fact any financial market, they get carried away when price goes up and they think, well, it can never come down. For example, price came up here and went down very sharply, came up, went down more than it came up. This is coming up now. What you will find with Luna is that price, as in all cryptos, moves in a wave. Luna is particularly powerful right now, but please bear in mind the rule that price moves in waves. It's never all up and it's never all down. We always have to look at Bitcoin as well, because what happened here, when Luna was coming up, it had some divergence from Bitcoin's gravity. It was over-exaggerating these moves up, but gravity always kicks in. Bitcoin moved down, and that's exactly what Luna did at the same time. You can see it more clearly here. Syscoin, Bitcoin moved down. What happened to Syscoin? It moved down as well. What we find with the alts is they will follow the directional bias, the up and down movement, and over-exaggerate ups and under-exaggerate downs when it has the market's focus. That's why we want to find what has the market's focus. This is our first level in risk management in crypto. When looking at AVAX, AVAX is looking quite nice structurally. It seems to be getting to a particular point where it's overcoming resistance. When you look at these 8 charts, which one has the most interest for you? Please let me know in the comments. We can see that Gala is quite strong and it's following Bitcoin's fingerprint. What happens when Bitcoin actually rallies up? We would expect a gravitational rally to pull Gala up as well. We know that all alts move with Bitcoin in a directional bias. It really comes down to how much they move with it, not if they move with it. We can see Sand also following Bitcoin's fingerprint, Solana as well. Near is also doing well. The strength of these cryptos is always changing around. If we look at the next 8, look at Atom. Atom is following Bitcoin's directional bias, over-exaggerating and under-exaggerating different percent moves up and down. But we know they always align in gravity eventually. Mana, Decentraland, doing really well. Axie Infinity, so far under gravitational bias, but the thing is, as we saw previously, that when a particular crypto is under gravitational pressure, when moves up actually take off, they can do really well and they can rally far more if they're strong, and that's the key, if they're strong or not. Rose also following Bitcoin's gravitational pull, coming into alignment as well. Loopring is under pressure, but it's still strong. IoTex, a standout. It's under gravitational pressure, but we know how things work. When Bitcoin starts to move up, the entire crypto market will move up with it. Harmony 1 is also strong, but not quite as strong as IOTEX and Rose and Mana. AR is also strong and moving with Bitcoin's directional bias. Please let me know on this particular series of 8, which is your favorite here and why. Not from a fundamental perspective, just from a technical perspective. Which one would you actually put money into, and where would you put money into it? For example, at what price? I think this sort of discussion inside the YouTube community is really helpful to people. As with all things, always do your own research. People have opinions, but you need to pull the trigger yourself. You need to decide when to buy and when to sell, and what in as well. Concentrating your firepower is really important. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, people don't feel responsible for their own actions. So what typically happens, they don't know where to aim, and they end up throwing a lot of arrows towards that particular bullseye. It's important that you just gain the skill. After gaining the skill, you'll have a lot more patience and have rules that guide your behavior. You'll have three-way decision making, which is a critical thing to have. Three-way decision making is knowing what you will do if the price goes down, goes up, or goes sideways. Many people only have one decision that they make. They say, oh, it must go up, and then when it goes down, they get really upset. And then they lash out and they blame. This all comes down to wanting and requiring certainty. There is no certainty inside financial markets. You need your knowledge. You're going up against very highly trained, very experienced people. So without knowledge, any focus on certainty will be met with terror and sleepless nights. It's really important to get rid of crypto stress. You do that by gaining the knowledge. If you're interested in becoming a crypto technical analyst, please come across to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. That's where you'll learn a specific method called the CTKS method, which was invented specifically for crypto and upgrades all of candlestick pattern analysis. And you don't have to learn any of the dojis or names that go along with candlestick analysis. And also, it's a different charting methodology that actually is applicable to exponential price action. Inside the stock market and Forex, we don't have exponential price action as the norm. We do in crypto. It's just the norm. Plus and minus 30% is basically normal for crypto in any specific period of time, for example, a week or a month. As a former lecturer in first and second year statistics, what I did was I taught stats from the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there were very complicated and complex subjects in there. I've done the same thing with crypto. I've provided just lesson by lesson using exponential learning techniques. This is just the foundation section where you learn how to draw your lines out. It takes time and it takes a lot of persistence and dedication. Please, no matter what you do, do not skip a lesson. I always put something new that I've never discussed in public before inside each class. Then you'll move on to the trend, when you can look outside the crypto market and understand. These are all deep dives on various things that you really need to know about. Next thing is timing, how to pick strength, and how to work within the crypto market. I believe that the most important thing inside the entire masterclass is the real wealth section, and all of this content is time released. It's so to not overwhelm. Real wealth is all about the laws of money. Many people have a very negative relationship to money. This real wealth section will negate that. You'll actually befriend money because you'll understand what its purpose is and how it really works. It takes a long time to understand these rules. but I presented them all just basically on a silver platter for you here. And then the trigger section is where we buy and sell. A lot of people just want to skip to the trigger section. They don't want the foundations. They just want to get going as soon as possible. This is a really, really bad idea. Without foundations, you will never gain the proper understanding that you need. It's like building a building, starting with the roof and not putting the walls in. It just doesn't work, but somehow people think that it will. There's also a living masterclass section where I continuously update knowledge to reflect the current market. There's a lot of content there, but it's incredibly valuable. And it's very important to understand how other people have related to the masterclass. If you come across to Testimonials, you'll see a video up the top. This explains the reason why I actually created the masterclass. The masterclass is all about knowledge transfer, and there's quite a few people that have gone through the masterclass. You'll find their feedback just in the testimonials section. There's quite a few people that have provided their feedback. You can just go through here and get a bit of an understanding as to what you will find inside the masterclass. The highest honor in crypto technical analysis is the CTKS Ambassador designation. Ambassadors have shown their dedication and commitment to crypto technical analysis in all its facets, especially the real wealth aspects of integrity, decency, and kindness. If you reach out to an official CTKS ambassador by going to www.cryptotechnicalanalysis.org and just clicking on these buttons, you will gain access to their Twitter feed, and you can ask them for an 80% off coupon. I thought something quite interesting that we could discuss in the comments section on YouTube. Where do you feel the price will go in the next 24 hours? Perhaps have a look at these different levels and just lock in one of them. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and being part of our global KS family. Please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.